Hello guys, welcome you back to my channel. My name is KAFTAN. So today I'm going to show you how to make a hair turban. Here I have this fabric, okay, and here is the fabric that is left over from the outfits I made in my previous video on how to make a maxi gown with elastic. Okay, so this turban is just to complement that outfit. And here what I have here is a piece of 30 inches in width, okay, 30 inches in width along this length by 15 inches, 30 inches in width by 15 inches. The same thing also for the lining I'll be using. And of course, I have the materials. I'm using the tape rule. I'm making use of this thread. I have a needle here I'll be using as well, some pins, the chalk, scissors, and also there's also this little piece of fabric. This is 6 inches by 7 inches too. I'll be using to create a cover on the top. As go on, you will see what I mean. Okay, so getting started, what I will do right now is to take this piece and use the lining, place it on each other. Okay, so the right sides are facing each other, right side facing each other. I'll place it against each other this way. Okay, so I'm going to run a stitch right now. Okay, I'm going to run a stitch all through. I'll just pick any point along this length. Take note of that, not on this 15 inches length. Along the 30 inches length, I'll pick a point, say about 3 inches. Okay, I'll leave it open. So I'm going to be closing up this way, all the way this way, come to the other side, run it all through this way, come back here and stop at this point. So that's what I'm going to do now. So here I have it all sewn, and you can see the space I left for the opening. So before I turn it the other side, I will make sure I trim off the rough edges. It's very, very important to do this to avoid bulkiness. So now this is done, I will just flip it to the other side. Now that I'm done flipping it to the other side, where I have that opening, I'm going to also run a stitch to close it up. So here I have it all closed off. So the next thing I will do now is to fold it this way along the long length. Okay, fold it along the long length this way. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, at this point I need my head circumference, and the head circumference I'm working with is 23 inches. So 23 inches divided by 2, that is 11.5. Okay, so along this length now I'm going to mark my 11.5 because I'll be sewing up this side, but I'm not going to be marking out exactly 11.5. I'll add an extra 1 inch to it, which will make it 12.5. The reason why I have to add this extra is because by the time I'll be creating my turban cap, there is tendency that it is going to reduce. Okay, so that extra allowance is going to help to accommodate any form of reduction. I hope you understand that. Okay, so I'm going to be using 12.5. So along this length, I'll just take, when I place my tape like so, what I have here is 13.5. Okay, so and I need 12.5, right? So I'm going to mark half an inch on one side and also half an inch on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to be sewing it all the way, this way and this way. So if you measure it back, you see now that what I will have here is 12.5. Okay, but one thing you should also take note is this: on one side you are going to be sewing it all through straight down, while on the other side you are going to be sewing it, but you'll be stopping say about 2 inches before the end point. Okay, so from this side, let's say I'm going to be using this side, so from here, this end point here, I'll mark out 2 inches here for an opening because I need it to be open. Okay, so from this point I'm going to be sewing that half an inch straight down, while on the other side as well I'll be sewing the 1/2 inch straight down. So I'll do that now. So here I have it all sewn, okay, and I have that opening of 2 inches here. So what I will do now is to turn it to the other side, and I also have this smaller piece as well. I sewed it with 1/2 inch. I'll also be flipping it to the other side. So right now our piece is ready to create our turban cap. So what I'm going to do right now is to face this way where you have that opening of 2 inches, okay, where you have the opening of 2 inches. I'm going to be creating a pleat, okay. How am I going to do that? If you look at the inside, okay, where you have the seam, I will open it up. I'll make sure that I open it up so that it will be flattened. Hope you can see this way. I'm just trying to open up the stitch. I need it to be flattened, so I'm opening it up this way, right? Okay, so where I have that open, I'm going to my hand, I'll just use one of my thumb, my finger, place it inside and start creating a pleat, okay, as tiny as you can. But before that, I need to have a thread, a little thread just down. I'll be using to, hold it firm before I put in my little bow. Just make a little thread. You can double it, okay, so that it will be thick. I have it aside first, then I'll create my pleats, something like this. Just do any little pleat you can create. See what I'm doing? Just creating a pleat. Now when you get to the edge, be sure that towards the end you don't have it facing this way where you can be seeing the inside. You have to make it to be facing this way. I hope you understand that. So if at the end it's going to be facing this way, then you need to loosen up your hand and create that pleat again in such a way that you have it at the end facing this way, like this, and not this way. I hope you understand that. So now that I have it in place, okay, firmly, so what I will do is to take this thread, little thread I have, and pass it through. I'm just doing this now to hold it firm, so I have to tie it to hold firm the pleat. So I'm tying this now as tight as you can. So you see this? Okay. So now this little piece here, I'll pass it through as well. And I'm going to sew it, okay? Now you're going to do it, it's not going to be so tight, and then I will be so loose, but you're just going to make it moderate in such a way that when you're done stitching, then you can flip it through the other side. Let me just finish this up now. So now that I'm done with this stitch, so what I'm going to do now, I like to use my scissors. This is a zigzag scissors. I'll just use it to trim it off, okay, so that I wouldn't reduce any rough edges, okay. And also I like to finish it up with a lighter so that to close up that edge, okay. Or better still, you can as well just use your weaving machine to clean it up, okay. So once this is done, then I'll flip it through the other side, and here you have it here, okay. This is done. So on this other side now, we're now going to be making the turban effect. So what I will do now is, from this edge here, I'm going to mark out either 1 inch or 1.5 inch from this edge point here. So from that point where you have this 1 inch, I'm going to start creating a pleat to this very end with my needle. So I have my needle and thread. I passed out a needle, a thread through my needle. So I'm just going to start. Okay, so watch inside. It doesn't have to be splitted open, whichever way works for you, or preferably let it slide to one side from the inside. So from where I mark that 1 inch or 1.5 inch from the edge, I will start taking it from inside, not from the outside. Start from the inside first. You can see this. So from there, I will start creating my pleats as little as you can take. See what I'm doing with my needle? Just keep taking, and please, it has to be very, very close to the hemline. As much as you can take, you sew and you continue. So we're almost getting to this tip here. So one thing you should also take note is when you get to this tip, be sure that your last peak is going to be going inwards as well. Remember when we started from the inside. So the last take, see this edge here, you're going to take it inwards as if you're pointing it exactly at that edge. Okay, so I'm pushing it inwards. That's the last. You can see this now. So we're now facing inside. So all I need to do is to drag this. Be careful. That's why you need to really double your needle properly. I mean your thread, so that it will be thick. So that when you are dragging it, you don't get you don't have the thread, cutting off. So you can see from the outside, you can see the pleat has been gathered. So just make sure you hold it firm. So what I'm going to do now is, once I have this, make sure you have it firm and you're still holding it down. Then I'm going to run a stitch straight down from where I started from, just to make sure that I have this pleat in place. So I'm doing this from the inside now. Where you have this, the gathers, I'm just running the thread all through. So you do this till you get to the very end. You can see we've gotten to the end. Okay, so I'll run this again backwards. The essence of doing this is to have your gathers in place and very, very fit. Okay, you wouldn't want to wear your turban and after some time it's getting all loose up. We are not using a machine to do this, so as much as you are using your hand needle, you have to make it as tight as much as you can even run through. At least 3 inches is fine. I mean 3 times. If you run it 3 times, it's fine. So I'm making my last knot now. And guys, this cap is ready. This is so beautiful. As you can see, it's very, very easy to make. On this side, you can decide to pass a bow through if you want. Okay, it's optional. You can make a bow and you can pass it through this space you have here. Okay, and as you can see, it's very, very easy to make. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share my video, and subscribe to my channel. Till I see you on the next one. Have a beautiful day.